Dude. I honestly God feel like I'm gonna pass out. I have Bill from Garage Auto Sports in Newmarket, Ontario here, and today I am in Ian. Shout out to Ian. He's not here. He's here in spirit, but this is his RS3. But yeah, I want to just talk about what you guys have done to this car specifically. So it's stage 2 plus, right? Is that the correct terminology for this?
Yeah. So the stages, they get a little. They're very gray. Stages are a gray area when it comes to cars, and different companies call their stages differently.
Yes.
Generally speaking, if you have a downpipe and intake intercooler, you're stage 2, and then you can add any number of things on top of that. So in this case, Ian's got an intake. He's got a 4-inch turbo inlet. He's got the IROS oversized billet intercooler.
Yep.
He has an APR downpipe, mid pipes, and yeah, I think.
And the mid pipes is just for sound, more or less. It's not really...
Mid pipes is you get a little bit of a boost from doing the mid pipes.
Yeah.
They're not specifically restrictive.
Yeah.
But most guys do them for sound.
Yes, I will say, being in this car, my car stock, as everybody knows probably, I can already tell this car sounds insane. It's really loud inside the cabin.
Yeah, and if the beauty of it is Ian's got a stock catback, so if we go to drive into comfort mode, engine noise aside, if we're cruising,
yes, that is insane.
It's stock.
Okay, because I was worried for a second, because I'm like, I daily drive mine. I know Ian drives this thing. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Okay, and this thing has pretty good stopping power. Is it on stock brakes?
It is on gyro discs and upgraded pads.
Okay. So one thing I want to cover too. Okay, I'm gonna say right off the bat that this feels absolutely insane. Oh my God. I've only been in the passenger seat in my car a handful of times.
Yeah.
But I've had my friend do like a full highway pull. From stock to this, it feels like going from my Subaru BRZ to my stage 2 S3. Like that's the difference in the amount of torque that I just experienced.
So I mean, this car is on our stage 2 alpha file, which means it's on an ethanol tune. It's got ID 1300s, so we got big injectors in there.
Yeah, you guys just did those injectors.
Secondary,
yes.
That's right. Okay. He was on 960s before, which is kind of like a plug and play that a lot of guys use.
Yeah.
But if we want to really stretch the ethanol content, we go up to ID 1300s. Right now the car is on E70. We can stretch it up to E85.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that the more ethanol you're using, you kind of have a less range for how much power you can make.
Okay.
Because the flow requirement does go up.
Gotcha.
So, so that's where we rely on those bigger injectors. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this car's on our stage 2 alpha file, which is about 599 horse and 585 torque at the crank.
Man. Oh my Lord. I'm gonna probably say that at this point, after just sitting in here and even just hearing this exhaust, and this is a stock catback.
Stock catback. It's a bone stock catback.
Oh,
he's just got the downpipe, so downpipe and mid pipes.
I'm definitely tuning my car. Well, you guys will be tuning my. I'm not gonna tune it. You guys are gonna tune my car.
We have to tune your car.
Oh my God. How is it still pulling? That feels like a roller coaster, legitimately.
Yeah. So we've got little neat features on these, like this car's got rolling anti-lag set up.
Yeah.
So let's say you were in 4th gear. I have it set up for it'll allow you to do it anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 RPM.
Yeah.
But while you're cruising, you can hold down on the cruise control stalk, it'll pull timing. And you can floor it and then let go.
Oh my God. Oh my God, man. Oh man, this is not good.
And then it'll let you do a full boost launch basically from any speed.
I'm having I'm feeling the pain of the amount of money that I'm couple of years.
Honestly, like, these cars have great bang for buck. So if you want to start off with, like, I tell everyone, anyone with 2.5, 5.2, 4 liter, get a DS1 first.
Okay.
We stock DS1s. Get a DS1 in the car, get licensed for it.
Yeah.
And that will allow us to kind of move through the stages with minimal investment.
I've noticed in the cars that he has 120,000 kilometers. Oh my. Man. Okay.
Yeah, 120K.
Okay, so we're at 120,000 kilometers, which I know there's this like stigma around Audis, at least from my experience and just being on forums and Reddit and stuff. Nobody wants to touch an Audi that's over 100,000 kilometers. You had mentioned that the way that you map these cars, you're limiting the torque at a certain RPM where it likes to peak, right? To kind of keep the engine a little safer.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that there is kind of a limit to how much torque these bottom ends can take, and there's lots of DAZAs. They get windowed, even on the stock turbo. Stock turbo does have the ability to fold a rod in these cars. Yeah. So when we tune these cars, especially on our like alpha level stage 2s, which are all usually around 600. Like this car made 599. The TTRS we did right before it made 601. Wow. But even this car at 585 crank torque, we are keeping the turbo from spooling when it wants to. Mm-hmm. So this turbo has the ability to hit peak torque probably about 1,000 RPM or so sooner than we are letting it. Okay. And by bringing that torque level up to a higher engine speed, it's significantly less stress on the engine. Gotcha. And then we're able to make higher power levels and stay in that kind of comfort zone of that 600 horse, 560 to 580 torque without people worrying. So we've got guys who've been driving for years on at those power levels and have never had an issue. These guys are beating on their cars every day. They're at the track every weekend. What? And I mean, knock on wood. So I think we haven't had any failures. I think Ian said, I could be wrong here, but I feel like he said he initially tuned at around 40,000 or something. Like he's been tuned for a long time. That sounds about right. His car's been tuned for a very long time. So to recap, stock turbo, no, the engine has not been touched at all. Yep. E70, 1300 cc injectors. Yep. And this thing is at basically 600 horsepower, fairly reliable. Yep, very reliably. And you can daily drive it in comfort mode and not blow your ears out. You wouldn't even notice. I mean, we're cruising right now in 7th. We're in comfort mode. Man. The valves are closed, and this is we'll call it a high flow downpipe. It's a high flow downpipe with mid pipes, and there's no issue. That exhaust sounds insane. That sounds insane. Yeah, we had just a little bit of spice, like OEM plus to the D cells, just so it gives it a bit of character. We're not, doing gunshots unless people are requesting it. Yeah. How do you feel about Burble tunes yourself? Doesn't matter how I feel. Doesn't matter? Matters how the end user feels. You do have an opinion. Matters how the end user feels. If they want gunshots, we'll give you gunshots. Yes. But I think a little bit of OEM plus crackle, a little spice is more than enough. It's all you ever need. I will close this out with so I have a story. The reason that I bought an S3 to begin with, I had a 6th gen 1LE SS Camaro, and it was manual. They only made the manual for that generation or that model year. I think 2021 they might have gone to the 10-speed automatic, but I was on the highway like 4.5 years ago, and it was open summer day, no cars. I saw an RS3 approaching me in my rearview mirror. I'm not much of a racer. I like to be responsible when I drive, but it just seemed like the perfect opportunity. And I thought in my head, I have this V8. It was 455 torque horsepower, and it was a American muscle car. This guy pulls up on me. He looks over. We do 3 honks, and he absolutely walked me. Like I think we did 4 back-to-back runs. And I was flat foot shifting too. I was flat foot shifting, so I was trying to get every advantage I could in this race. I mean, they say there's no replacement for displacement, but yes, that's the turbocharger is the replacement for displacement. Yes. When we were on the highway, and I'm not going to say how fast we were going, we are in Mexico. Well within the speed limit. Yeah, it was well within the speed limit. But the fact that we were at the speed limit and it was still pulling as hard as it was quite astonishing. Yeah. This thing feels insane. Want to end it off with a launch? Oh, I would love to. Okay. Let's get a launch down. All right, I'm scared. See what we do. Oh my god, dude! I honestly, God, feel like I'm gonna pass out. tread wears on it. Pressures are a little bit lower. It's
oh my lord.
Beautiful temperatures outside. It's 14 degrees, so it's...
Man, I might need...
Conditions are right.
You might need to drop me off at the hospital on the way home. So I've actually... Ian hasn't driven this yet.
No, he is not.
So I got... Ian, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Ian.
I am sorry. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely mental. Like, just... the only thing I can compare this to, obviously, is either my stock RS3 or my Stage 2, like, 2091 S3. Oh, my lord, man. That's mental. That is absolutely mental. This
Perfect
is
daily driver.
Man, this was like exceeded what I thought it was gonna be like. I've never been in a car that's been like, first of all, 500. Well, no, this is 590. I've never been in a car that has this much power. But I didn't. Man, I don't even know what to say at this point.
And it's a small light car, and that's where it's 600 horsepower. Yes, it's not a small amount, but at the same time, it's not.
Right.
It's not 800. It's not 900.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's such a small platform, and it's such a light platform that, I mean, we've got a full winter tire package in the back seat.
I forgot about that.
And I mean, the car's moving, so that's
oh my gosh.
we aim to deliver with any car that we build, that we put together.
Yeah.
Is we want someone to get in, turn the key, be able to do whatever they want with it, and still be competitive if that's their goal.
Okay, so the moral of this video, or I guess like the takeaway, I'm going to tune my car. And if you want your car tuned, you have an Audi, and you guys do Audi, Volkswagen.
We do all European, okay. All exotic. So German, Italian, English, not so much.
Yep.
But we have a full service shop. We have full service staff. We've got techs on board. We've got Dan, our service manager, excellent guy. He's always at the front desk.
Dan's amazing.
But we do full service, maintenance, repair. Obviously, we have the all-wheel drive dyno. We have a Mustang all-wheel drive. Heartbreaker. So we're it reads a little bit lower than some comparable dynos.
The butt dyno is the only real dyno, anyways.
Yeah, we at the end of the day, for us, the dyno is a tool for logging and measuring, and it's not. You can get any numbers from any dyno you want, but once we've dialed in the setup on the dyno, it's all about getting the car to the track and seeing what it's actually physically doing.
And this thing, I feel like, is going to do a lot.
Yeah. No, we hope so.
Well, Bill, thank you so much, man.
No, it's my pleasure.
If you guys want, if you have a European car and you're in the GTA and you want to tune it, you have to come here.
Appreciate you.